Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Can everybody hear me? Hello. Am I live and direct? Can you hear me? Good morning. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Diane. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. So I'm so happy and grateful to be here. Thank you, Diane. I'm so happy and grateful to be here. I want to thank Tasha, who is on her amazing honeymoon right now, and that she gave me this opportunity to talk to you about something that's dear and near to me, self-talk. And I just want to say I'm so happy and grateful that you're all here. So let's just wait a little bit, just a second. Hope you all had a great, fun weekend. That's what I did, having fun. Yes, happy Manifesting Monday to you all. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Karla Henry, and I'm a mentor with the Science of Getting Rich Academy with Tasha and Diane and their team, and my other mentor, Nadine Sinclair, Coach Nads. So again, I'm so happy to be here. Hi, everybody. Hi, Tamika. Hi, Susan. Hi, Chisa. Hi, everybody. So grateful for you all to be here. So let's get started. And this is one of my favorite topics, as I said before, about self-talk. And when I first thought about it, I kept thinking to myself, self-talk, talking to ourselves. I grew up hearing that if I do that, that it's some sort of madness that's taking place in my head and I'm being mental all about it. But it really is something that you have to pay attention to, because those voices, and there are many voices and many thoughts. They're my thoughts. These thoughts that just keep turning up, and some are good, some are welcome, some are not so good, some are mean, some are disrespectful. And usually, most times, yes, you may think it's being directed towards someone else. But what I've come to find out is that it's really about me. I'm really thinking about me with this self-talk. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this book that I wrote, and because Tasha did say to me that I need to mention it, and it's my book, Simply Real. And I wrote this book to really guide, it was more to guide myself, and with these little nuggets, and it's really a simple read of these little nuggets that have helped me along this journey to live so much of an easier, more relaxing, and most importantly, fun life. It's just these little nuggets that are simple, because I think we go ahead and we make life so hard. Hi, Nat. How are you? So I wanted to discuss further about mastering self-talk. And mastering self-talk comes about, and just in line with what Tasha has been doing recently about trusting yourself, a big part of trusting yourself is managing your self-talk. And that comes up, you're moving around, and all of a sudden you either feel happy or you don't feel happy, or you feel angry, or you feel sad, all of those exciting things that happen. And what you need to do is, one of the ways is being present with your thoughts, being present with, how am I feeling right now? Where is that thought coming from? Is that thought really true? Is that really what's happening right now to me? Or is it I'm giving it a story based on something that has happened in the past? And usually that's what happens with our self-talk. They're these weeds. Some of them can be beautiful flowers, and a lot of them can be these weeds. I like to call them the gremlins of life. They come up and they sit on our shoulders, as I said, and they just try to take over our lives if left unchecked. So, with that being said, I wanted to just read something from my book. And it says, most of us have been socialized to believe that we toggle between two forces, an angel and a devil. How many of you can relate to growing up hearing about this little devil that sits here and this angel that sits here? And we've seen it in cartoons where they put these characters right here. and one on each shoulder. And I've come to understand that these forces are actually my own thoughts. And if I pay attention to the energy each thought projects, I can usually tell which one is for me. I can see which one is more aligned with who I really am, a spirit made in the image and likeness of God. That's the whole truth to me. And what I have done with my self-talk is I've turned it into my conversation with God, which is within me, my spirit, my divine. Talking to the universe, whatever you may call it, but for me, it's God. It's like when I'm doing something and most times I have fun with it because I sit back and I'm like this and I'm saying to myself, okay, where did that thought come from? And then it's like God is saying to me, girl, I don't know. Where do you got that thought from? Why are you having that belief about yourself? Because that's not who I said that you are. And paying attention to these thoughts prevent them from turning into trees. So much. Amawami just wrote a while ago that about self-talk being present with your thoughts. And she is so correct. It's imperative that you pay attention to your thoughts, especially when you are looking to manifest all these fabulous and great and big dreams that you have. Those thoughts it transmits your vibrations, good or bad. And that's what the universe responds to, our vibrations. It's not our words. It's the feeling behind those thoughts. And it's so important to be in touch with your thoughts and from your higher self, as Diane just said a while ago. And that higher self, it's the divine spirit within you. It's your superpower. And so when I don't pay attention to my thoughts, I notice that when they're left unchecked, the other energy that we may call our ego, that negative voice, leads me into doubting who I am and the dreams I have for myself. This takes me down a path that is not fun, that is not easy, and it's not relaxed, a path where there is no grace at all. Who can relate to this? I'm sure you all can. For even right now, as we're sitting here, some of you may be having certain thoughts about and usually these negative thoughts that come up most times are fear-based. If not all the time, they're fear-based. And what happens with those fear-based thoughts, it's in the future. It's something that's not happening now. And you get to question it. You really get to question these thoughts. And we should, because you need to know if you're in alignment with what it is that you say you believe about yourself, the way you feel about yourself, and the things that you are working on in terms of connecting, and so that you can manifest your dreams. And with that being said, on this path, I'm angered easily. I find whenever I don't check myself, it spirals into this huge snowball, and it's like a day from hell. And if you notice, I'm sure everybody can relate to having left your thoughts unchecked and what happens. It's the same way it happens the opposite too. Even when you're having fun, you're like, oh my God, where did all of this, I'm really having such a good time. I'm laughing, I am smiling with everybody. And that may be also a time when you didn't even check those thoughts, but they were such positive thoughts that you were going through. You're having a positive moment, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And when that happens, it's such a huge, big, good feeling that you're having. So it's the same thing that when it goes with our negative thoughts, we tend to linger more in that area and almost believe that everything that's going on with us, that it is the truth about who we are. And it's breaking that cycle. And the biggest thing to do that with is, first of all, you have to be aware of it. You have to be aware of how you're feeling, and to sit back, give yourself that pause. That's one of the things that I learned how to do. I used to be very, very reactive. And sometimes I miss the boat and I happen to hop onto that reactive space. And I know it doesn't serve me well, because I can hear God saying to me, what are you doing? We're working on these things and you are just trying to mess it up. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I just love when that happens, because when I become so aware of my thoughts, I sit back and I say, you know what? That doesn't work out for me. That's just not supporting me. As one of my favorite statements, even when I'm in a situation where lack turns up or something is going up, I hear myself go into, That's not rich, Carlo. That's one of my favorite phrases. That's not rich. Because it's a feeling of God is this God of abundance, right? And it behooves me when I take myself down the road of feeling lack. Like, for instance, last night I had a moment where something came to my mind, and I had to sit back with it and literally say to myself, never mind, like, don't go there with that thought, and to turn around that thought into something positive that supported that I believed about myself. And it's not, and in getting to the belief part, it's like to get to that part, because sometimes we're going through something that's really, really hard, and it's hard for us to turn it around right away, to turn the boat back going downstream. Go into gratitude. Gratitude and appreciating life helps us in that moment. It happens for me all the time. Nature is my go-to. It's my go-to. When I am feeling lack or I'm feeling doubtful, I look up. I live in Jamaica, and so I have the appreciation and the opportunity to see mountains around me, hills around me. And when I look at how green and lush and fluffy they are from a distance, that moves me from, okay, what I'm going through and what I'm feeling is not work. It's not going to support me. It's just not supporting me. And April just said, gratitude and appreciation. It's the key to everything that we were doing. And Tasha goes over this all the time. It's a go-to go into gratitude, because in that moment, there is one thing that you can be grateful for, because not everything is going haywire, right? And it's paying attention to our daily lives, paying attention to every little moment and how you're feeling. And one of the tools that I go to in my book, I'm going to give you an example of some of the questions that you can use in your self-talk. And this is an example that I got from when I'm feeling unloved or feeling like it's not happening for me. Yes, I am one of those. I just love that my good friend and sister Tasha has manifested the love of her life, and it is such evidence for me to do the same and to materialize and manifest the same for myself. But there are these times that, of course, life happens and you see something or you experience something, and the voice comes back to you that says you're unloved. Okay, so let me give an example of how I dealt with those thoughts. Am I unloved forever? Am I not going to be chosen forever? And my answer to that is no. If I let this go today, what becomes possible for me? I get to feel happier, fun, laughter. I can feel more relaxed, at ease, and be in gratitude. Am I ready to move past this fear? And every time for me, it's a yes. Even if I feel like I'm stuck in the fear, it's still a yes. Now, when the fear pops up, and it will, I tell myself, this is not true. I will be chosen. I will be loved. I speak to the fear, and that's what you do to your thoughts. You speak to all of those thoughts that do not support who you are. You cannot let them go unchecked. Absolutely not. I speak to the fear. Do not accept what you don't deserve. It will be so much better. And that's the conversation that I have with me. And it's not a long conversation. It happens so fast, especially when you start practicing it. It happens so fast. Jennifer says, I am loved. Thank God I am loved. And we just, and that's what I have to do. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do as well. If this fear were to actually happen, never being chosen, what is the worst thing that could happen? I'm alone, being alone. What scares me about being alone? I may feel unloved, I may feel unsupported. What scares me about being unloved, even further, to go deeper, that I don't matter. That's what came up for me when I was doing this little exercise with myself. Is what I'm afraid of happening now. Because remember, we are to be present with who we are now. and how we're being? And the answer to that is no. Our fears are future based, and we get to shift these thoughts to a better feeling in the now. You always get to choose, you get to decide. It's your life, it's how you want to feel. And I think as life goes on, we need to give ourselves permission to choose that, to choose to feel better. That's what mastering your self-talk is that you're choosing to feel better in every moment, even if it's a toops, just a little bit. It's to feel better, and that's all. Remember, you're just having this little faith as the size of a mustard seed, and if anyone knows that mustard seed is so tiny. Sometimes if you, like me, I wear glasses, but if you don't have any glasses, you won't see it. That's how small it is. And that's the size of our faith that we should have. And that faith is in ourselves and in our belief. And it's a practice, it's ongoing. I'm not going to say to everybody that you're going to master it right away, but if you keep doing it, you will become really aware of what's going on up here and in your thoughts. And you're just like, and you know what? I can give another example of what's going on with me. I'm very good with I tend to always wear my emotions on my sleeve and on my face. And I realized that because I practice so much with the self-talk, the expressions are coming out of my face. If I don't like something and I'm having the talk in my head, my expressions are on my face. And I've realized that I have to kind of be very much aware of that now, because when you're with somebody, and they may say something that irritates you or frustrates you, and you show it on your face, and you didn't mean to, but because you're having a conversation, you're giving all the emotions with it. So I will I will warn you against that, that when you're having the self-talk, to just be aware of, okay, am I showing the person that I'm displeased or I'm frustrated? But my face will tend to give away when I'm not when I'm having a not so great dialogue on the inside of me. But for the most part, when I use God as my person who I'm having that conversation with, I hear God literally telling me, that's not who I made you to be. Have you forgotten your superpower? Who are you? What do you deserve? You are deserving of X, Y, and Z. And that X, Y, and Z is always something good. God's dream for me is so much bigger than me. And I have to master this piece of the whole journey so that I can get what I deserve and what I believe I deserve. So you really get to choose. It is a working process, and it is a daily practice. It is a minutely practice. It is a minute, then second by second practice. It's really just being present with the now and how you're feeling. And this is the work. When you read The Science of Getting Rich, is the hardest work you'll ever have to do, and it's up in here. And it's mastering how you're feeling, how you're talking to yourself, how you're loving on you. And that's the bottom line. It creates this peace, this calmness, and this happiness, as April just said. And Tamiko, I get it. My girl, I go through this all the time, and it's a daily practice. And so I just encourage you all. Again, if you have not read my book, it's a simple little nugget, and your kids can read it. When I say kids, like your teenagers and up, because it really just gives you these simple little nuggets and examples to just keep moving through life easy and relaxed. And we know about the easy and relaxed because Tasha is always talking about it. And it really is key to feel this fun and this relaxed in the things that we go through in our lives. And again, I say it takes practice. It's really just practicing it. Do not, I'm encouraging you. I won't say do not. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle. I've had it where I have jumped all over me for having a particular thought. And I just have to say, you know what? That's not for me. That's not serving me, and wish it on a merry way. Let it flow. Allow the thoughts are going to come. It doesn't matter. It's just like when you have grass, you will cut here and pick out your weeds today, and tomorrow you see some new ones coming up. It's the same thing with our thoughts. So keep on going on this journey. You have all this great support, and I just want to say that I love you guys. Thank you for being here with me this morning. Really appreciate it. And self-talk is key. Self-talk is key. You are the masters of your self-talk. And I love you. Bye.